I'm Lisa Greenberg with a look at some of the top stories from Fox 4 Morning News. We expect to learn more about a Florida bank shooting that left 5 people dead. A former prison guard trainee, 21-year-old Zephan Xavier, is in custody. He called police himself to report he had opened fire inside the SunTrust Bank. Xavier barricaded himself, and when negotiations failed, the SWAT team stormed inside. The victims have not yet been identified. Investigators have not yet offered a possible motive either. President Trump is conceding to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. He says he'll delay his State of the Union address until after the government shutdown is over. The president made the announcement in a pair of late-night tweets. He said he's not looking for an alternative venue because nothing can, quote, compete with the history, tradition, and importance of the House chamber. On the other end of the Capitol, the Republican-controlled Senate will vote on competing bills to end the partial government shutdown now in its 34th day. Both appear likely to fail. The NCH president and chief of staff are out of their jobs. And after months of fighting, patients, doctors, and hundreds of others feel they steered the hospital away from potential disaster. Dr. Alan Weiss submitted his resignation to the Board of Trustees. His top lieutenant chief of staff, Kevin Cooper, also resigned. Both faced months of pressure after rolling out a controversial doctor-patient policy. It required patients admitted to NCH to see only NCH doctors rather than their primary care physician. Former president of the NCH Foundation, Bob Stucker, spearheaded public resistance to the program.
It's always hard to take on management of an institution that otherwise has done other important things, but when they cross the line and they don't pay attention to their customers and the communities, this is what happens.
NCH released a statement saying valuable lessons were learned over the last 6 months. NCH COO Phil Dutcher will serve as the interim president. No word yet on how long the search for a permanent president will take. A Venezuelan political battle over leadership is brewing right now, and the U.S. is starting to feel the impacts. Venezuelans protested President Nicolas Maduro in the country's streets on Wednesday. He was reelected for a second term this month, but more than a dozen countries, including the United States, say Maduro is not the legitimate leader. They say the election was illegitimate. Instead, they see Maduro's opponent, Juan Guaido, as the true president. Yesterday, Maduro ordered U.S. diplomats out of that country, but Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says the diplomats aren't going anywhere since the U.S. doesn't recognize his authority. Venezuelans in Naples also took to the streets yesterday to protest against Maduro. The protest had a dual purpose for those who see him as a de facto dictator. Yesterday was Venezuela's Day of Freedom. It's the day they broke off from that dictatorship in 1958. But those who we spoke with say, thanks in part to the U.S.'s help, they're not afraid. They're excited for the country's future.
It's a very, very happy moment because we feel that we're a step closer to the conditions where we can take back our country. So not only we're happy, but we're ready.
That man also works with Ven America. It's a group that's working with other organizations to help fix Venezuela if Guaido becomes president.
And it was a stormy start to your Thursday morning with a strong line of thunderstorm activity associated with a cold front moving through. It brought gusty winds, frequent lightning, and locally heavy rain. That's not an all-day rain event. Things should start to wrap up heading into this afternoon as the front clears the area with the cooler, drier air setting in tonight. Timing, though, it will clear out of our northern communities first by late morning, early afternoon, lingering through Collier County through the lunch hour, and it looks like the radar should be pretty much dry out there as we head toward the evening hours. From there, the colder, drier air moves in behind the front, and tomorrow we'll wake up to sunshine. Temperatures today on the cool side with that air moving in, but temperatures overnight will be chilly, upper 40s, low 50s as you head out the door for your Friday. That was a check of today's top headlines and your Storm Shield forecast. To stay up to date with all the latest, you can tune in on air or check out our website, fox4now.com.